Drop a bubble bath to get in the mood for your next big meeting.
Be more authentic. Maybe.
You're letting work from home take over your life from home.
No platitudes. It's all about attitude. Today on Full Funnel. Hey everybody, I'm Raj Nation, he's Tyler Lassard, and you are watching Full Funnel exclusively on Sales Feed, the weekly show that you accidentally start watching when trying to buy fall flannels while online shopping. Full Funnel is the place where we break down 3 hot topics happening in the world of sales, all to help you go out, show out, and fill up your funnel. Let's dive in. Top Funnel. You ran an amazing discovery call. Your main point of contact is super excited and she's bringing her entire team to the demo. This is your big moment to close a major deal. So why then are you treating it like just another moment? When you know you've got a big deal that you can close or advance in the sales process, you really should create some buffer in your schedule to do your tactical prep work, or even more important than that, create a pre-meeting ritual for yourself. Think of it like how an artist or an entertainer has their own pre-show ritual. Your big meeting is your show. My pre-show ritual is I get a big thing of coconut water. I do some deep breathing, ujjayi breathing. If you practice yoga, you know what that is. And then I go off into a corner somewhere and I crouch down and I don't talk to anyone. In fact, I find a place where I can be secluded so no one can talk to me.
Well, for me, I like to make sure I'm going into a meeting feeling both relaxed and confident. So in addition to taking a bubble bath to get myself in the mood, I also like to make sure that I am as confident as possible, so I'm going to communicate clearly and effectively with my audience. And there's 2 things that I recommend doing to make sure you walk in confident. First is know your audience well before you even hop on that call. Spend a few minutes hopping on each of the attendees' LinkedIn profiles to remind yourself who they really are and say each of their names out loud 3 times to make sure you know their names, you can practice enunciating them, and if you're not quite sure how to pronounce them, well, just Google it or hop on their LinkedIn profile. The second thing I encourage you to do, write down the agenda for your meeting and actually do it on a piece of paper. So when the meeting comes, you can plan out the timing and make sure you know what's coming up next.
Mid-funnel. Our homie, our boy, Devin Reed over at Gong recently wrote a LinkedIn post that got over 1 million views. And all it said was, 27 tattoos later, and I still haven't ruined my chances at getting a good job. And this had people going off in the comments, both in support of Devin and in opposition to this philosophy of having tattoos as an employee and the professionalism around that. At what point does authenticity cross the line? Or is there no line at all?
As we move forward in this digital first and often digital only sales world, we really do run the risk of a lot of our communications and engagement becoming, well, not so human anymore. And we start to lack that authenticity that's always been a huge part of sales. And I honestly think in this new world, we actually need to lean into being more authentic than ever. Putting ourselves out there as our genuine selves to actually allow others to connect with us even though we can't be there in person. That might mean sharing a little bit more, or simple things like just sending more videos so that our audiences can hear us, they can see us, they can feel our body language and connect with our authentic selves. This is actually a topic I dive pretty far into in my new show, Salespeople, which is exclusively on Sales Feed and is all about how we put the people back in the world of sales in a digital first world. But to your point on can you be too authentic? I don't know. I don't think so, but don't confuse authenticity with oversharing, because I don't need to hear what you had for breakfast every day. That's not being authentic. That's just wasting my time.
And that's kind of the line that I think does exist. Authenticity versus oversharing. And I'll tell you, I am the first person to not only hop on the train, but be the conductor of the authenticity and the be genuine and the be personal train. I mean, literally just look at my background. This is a reflection of my personality. I am all about putting my interests out there, and too many people in this world know that I love professional wrestling, and I'm totally okay with that. What I am very careful about, though, amidst all of my authenticity and my promotion around being genuine, the timing of sharing certain things. An example I can point to is I recently posted on LinkedIn a personal milestone I had achieved. And in sharing that milestone, I talked about the journey of how, I just bought this new house. It felt like a great accomplishment because 5 years ago, I was down to less than $5,000. I was living with my parents, and I didn't really see how I was going to get out of that. But I committed myself, et cetera, et cetera. But it would have been different if 5 years ago I was posting online, my life is in shambles right now. I don't know how I'm going to make my business successful. Who would want to buy from someone who just feels so unsure of themselves and unsure of their own business? The way I look at it is, has the story fulfilled itself? I didn't share those things about the journey until I felt I was at a point where I could look back and reflect. And that's where I think people are able to gravitate towards, is it's a lesson learned as opposed to a live documentation while you're going through it. And so when you're putting your stuff out there, just ask yourself, have I learned something yet? And has this story, quote unquote, completed itself? And if the answer is yes, then maybe that's a good time to share. If you're still in the thick of it, stick to a close circle of people who you trust, who you can share private information with to be able to just take care of your own mental health. But maybe wait until you share publicly.
Bottom fun. Work from home, work out from home, words with friends from home. The lines between work life and personal life have been very much blurred in this remote work world where going to work can be as simple as getting out of bed, putting on clothes on the top half of your body, and pulling open that laptop on the kitchen counter. WFH can turn into OWFH, or overworked from home. Raj, have you ever felt OWFH'd?
For sure. I've got a lot of work from home experience in my years. Biggest thing I found that led to me feeling overworked and just working all the time was not setting clear boundaries with myself. See, the benefit of going to an office is you physically leave your house, you go to another location, and then you physically leave that location to come back to your house. When you're just opening up the laptop at your kitchen counter, like you said, there's no physical leaving of your home. So set a clear boundary with yourself on the end time of your day. Have a designated end time, 4:30, 5 o'clock, whatever that looks like for you. So that way you actually force yourself to say, my work day is done. I'm closing the laptop. I'm going to take care of my personal life. Exit work and enter home, even though I've never physically left anywhere.
One other good trick to help you from a mental state know that you're transitioning from work to personal and back is to have something as part of your wardrobe that's part of your workday and something that's not. For example, try getting a pair of slippers that are your work from home slippers. When work starts, put them on, but at that 5 or 6 o'clock, take them off and get back to your personal life. And it just might help you make sure that WFH doesn't turn into WTF.
The close. In Top Funnel, we covered how to get in the mood for your big meetings. Remember, know thyself, know thy audience.
And don't be shy to take a quick bubble bath to get yourself in the mood if that's your thing. And in Middle of Funnel, we talked about authenticity in today's world of sales and online engagement, why we need to lean into it in a digital first world, and if it's possible to be a little bit too authentic.
And in Bottom Funnel, we covered how to maintain your sanity in the remote work environment. Create clear boundaries for when you want to end your day, and even are there specific articles of clothing that represent work for you. We've got full resources for you from Trello, from Sales Gravy, and from Tyler himself, linked below if you want to follow up on any of this conversation. Our funnel is full. We hope you can get back out there now and fill up yours. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe before you head out. He's Tyler Lessard. I'm Raj Nation. You have been watching Full Funnel exclusively on Sales Feed. We will catch you next week, but until then, remember, discount offers valid only at participating stores. Check your local listings to confirm.